Okay, welcome. This is Yoga for Cancer, and I'm Rebecca Leary Saffron, and today is June 2nd, which has been designated as the Blackout Tuesday on social media. And the idea is to limit the voices of people who are not part of the Black or African American experience so that their voices can be heard. And I think this is the perfect time to have a practice about listening. We are told, instructed, or given the opportunity to listen to the small, still voice inside. And you can decide where that, what is the source of that voice? Is it our inner best selves or something greater beyond us? But it's only by truly listening, by being quiet, that we can hear that voice inside, that voice that might lead us to right action. And so we will practice. We will practice being quiet. We will practice talking about or hearing. I have to talk, right? We will practice trying to understand what grounding means. What does it mean to be grounded? What does it mean to stay in your body, to stay present, to stay with the breath? And these are not simple complexes, simple ideas. And that's why we practice. That's why yoga is called a practice, because we don't arrive. It's a journey, right? Okay, enough platitudes. Everybody take a moment to find a comfortable seat. Have a moment of gratitude for the comfort that you feel, for the safety that I truly hope you feel. Allow your eyes to close or take a soft gaze. And begin to notice your sensory environment, what is around you, the light, the air, the sounds that you hear. Notice the textures that you feel. Maybe the bumpiness of your mat beneath your feet, or the squishiness of a cushion or couch you might be sitting on. Feel the weight of your hands in your lap, and the feeling of your clothing against your skin. And then begin to turn your attention more deeply inward to your own breath. Noticing where you feel the breath first. And then begin following the breath as you inhale and exhale. Where does the breath go? Allow the breath to settle in the center of the body, creating a spaciousness and openness. The inhales help you to sit taller in your seat. The exhales help you to ground and let go. So feel the strength of the body, but let go where you don't need to be engaged, relaxing the muscles of your face and jaw, your neck and shoulders. Feel a softening, a melting, and an opening in the center of the heart. If you feel a clenching in your gut, notice that. Try to bring the breath to soften. Relaxing in the low belly, in the hips. Legs are heavy, tailbone dropping down. Relaxing through your feet and hands. And stay with a focus on your breath. Tracing the inhale, noticing the pause as the inhale becomes the exhale. Follow the exhale, noticing the pause as the exhale becomes the inhale. Returning again and again to sensations of breath. But allow yourself to notice anything and everything that comes up. Sadness, yes. Grief, yes. Fear, anger, defensiveness, self-righteousness, rage, indifference. Allow it all to come and sit beside you, as long as they can sit in quiet. Feeling the presence, but staying with the breath again and again. Returning to the life-giving breath. The privilege of breath. The right to breathe. Take 5 more breaths in this awareness. And return to your natural breath. Just noticing. We'll continue together with our sun breaths. We'll inhale and allow arms to float up. Palms meeting. And on the exhale, draw hands to heart center. We'll repeat. Inhale. Breathing in, opening up, drawing in. And exhale. Bring it all to heart center. A few more times. Inhaling up. Connecting this movement and breath. And the next time that you inhale up, pause here for a moment and then lower right hand and come up and over with the left. Begin to circle the wrist. In both directions. Exhale and come into a side bend, breathing into the side body, opening, welcoming the breath. And then use an inhale to come up and over to the other side. Pausing to circle both directions. And coming into the fullness of the side stretch, the fullness of the breath in the side body. Inhale up through center, exhale over once again. And this time we'll take arm circles, full arm circles. Warming up through the shoulders, opening through the heart, creating even more space for breath. If taking, that's reverse direction, but if taking these circles is difficult on this side, find your circle, smaller range of motion, or even just stillness as you lean to the side. Inhale and use the breath to come up and over to the other side. Maybe a hand is on your shoulder as you circle. What feels right today? And reverse direction. And next time we inhale, we'll rise back to center and release. Moving to tabletop. Find a comfortable, cushioned space so that you can protect your knees. Take time to find the right tabletop for you, maybe being on hands and knees, maybe on fists with your thumbs forward or on forearms. What works for you today? Let's find our cat and cow here. Inhale to open the front body, open the heart. Exhale to draw the belly in and open behind the heart. And continue rolling through the spine, creating gentle movement. Connecting movement with breath, noticing how the breath echoes the movement and the movement informs the breath. Yoga is breath. Come to stillness in neutral, and maybe you'll extend right leg behind you with toes down. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you add a reach with the opposite arm. Stay here or lift the leg and find balance. I'm going to stay for a few breaths. Where do you need to engage? And where can you let go? Slowly lower your toes if they're lifted. Bring your hand to the ground and then pivot and lower the heel. Pivoting your other leg behind you will come into our side plank. Staying here or adding an overhead reach, maybe a lift of the extended leg. And slowly release, coming back to our starting position. Let's extend the left leg, toes down. Add the right arm, maybe the lift of the leg. Find the breath. How does the breath help you to stay? Where do you need to engage for strength? One more breath, and then lower toes, lower your hand, pivot to the heel, bring the other foot behind you as a kickstand, and open up into your side plank. Reaching up or taking the long overhead stretch, maybe adding the lift of the leg. Hold, reach, and breathe. Release the foot and the hand. Come back to your knees and bring toes together, knees wide apart, pressing back into child's pose, allowing your head to rest on stacked hands or maybe stacked fists. It's a little harder to breathe in this position. So find space for breath. Three more breaths here. And then walk your hands out in front. Maybe draw your knees in a little bit closer. And inhale, press forward into a knee down lunge. Plank, a knee down plank. Exhale and press back to your child's pose. Take a moment to notice maybe you need to have your forearms down instead of your hands, and then you can press forward into a knee down forearm plank and back into child's pose. So take several breaths to work with this strengthening kriya. Try not to let the hips drop, right? So keep the belly engaged. Press back to open. And forward, inhale and open the front body. And when you're complete, pause and rest in your child's pose. From here, walk hands back, curl your toes under, and see if you can press back onto your toes in a squat. Bring hands to knees and see if you can press all the way up to standing. Take time to arrange your environment. We'll work with our mountain pose, Tadasana, and then with our balance pose, tree pose, Vrikshasana. So make sure you have what you need, and then take a moment to find your mountain pose. Standing squarely on your feet so you're not rocking forward or back. You're not distributing your weight more unequally to one side or the other. Let's inhale, arms up, and exhale, close at heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms come up, and exhale to heart center. And last time. And exhale, hold at heart center. Take a moment to find your focal point, your drishti, in front of you. Something that isn't moving. And then begin to root down into your left leg. Drawing in and up to create strength in the body. Lift the right leg up. And then turn it out and place it at the thigh, calf, or ankle. Making a connection, pressing the sole of the foot into the leg. Feeling the strength of that connection, the strength of the connection between your hands. Let that help you to build strength and steadiness. Make sure breath is also flowing. Maybe branches grow. Can we find buoyancy, openness, and rootedness at the same time? One more breath. And exhale, hands to heart center, 2 feet on the ground. Pause here. Let your breath come to steadiness. Rearrange your feet if you need to. Find your drishti, your focal point, and then root down through the right foot and lift the left up high. Turn out and find your foot position on this side. Notice, is it different? Is balance different from one side to the other? Can you work this connection, this closed circuit of foot against leg, leg against foot, and hands against each other to create a center of stability for your tree? I'm a little wobbly on this foot today. I'm going to place my toes down as I move to grow my branches. Finding breath, finding openness. And then when you're ready, hands through heart center, come back to your Tadasana. And pause for a moment here, maybe close your eyes and feel a sense of real groundedness, rootedness. Can you feel that sensation of digging deep into the earth and then growing up away from that point of connection to expand and grow tall? Let the breath help you be buoyant, even in this position, and yet rooted. One more breath here, and release the arms down, shake out your legs. We're going to move into a Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 practice. So if you have blocks or something that you're using as blocks, bring them in front of you. We're going to turn sideways to take advantage of the length of the mat. Back up as much as I can here so that we can, you know what, I'm going to scoot this back a little bit. Maybe you can see my feet a little better. There we go. So take your wide stance and have your toes pointing straight ahead. Sometimes we want a more narrow stance, and sometimes a narrow stance actually makes it harder. So play around with this as we go through the practice and notice maybe a little wider will actually give you a little room to move. From here, let's turn front foot facing towards the camera, and turn toes to face forward. So notice I'm not rotating my hips, right? My hips are staying to the side, but my foot and leg are turning out. My knee is going in the same direction as my toes. My other foot is either staying parallel to the edge of the mat or in more like of a pigeon-toed angle. So the toes are pointing this way up towards the front left corner of my mat. From here, we'll inhale, raise arms to shoulder height, and bend the front knee so that it's over the ankle. I'm going to move so you can see from the side where I am. So I have my knee bent right over my ankle. It can be behind the ankle, but we just don't want to go past. My other leg is long and straight and steady. This knee is bent and tracking over middle toes. Arms are up. Turn and look out over your fingertips. And make sure the breath is flowing. Inhale, raise arms up, straighten your legs, and turn towards the side. Exhale, and drop back into your Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten, and turn. Exhale, and drop. 2 more times. Inhale up, and exhale down. Inhale up, and exhale to Warrior 2. Release your back arm to your hip. Turn your front arm, palms up, and then begin to raise that arm, coming into peaceful warrior. You can keep your hand on your hip. Your hand can come down your back leg, or it can wrap around your low back. Keep your front knee bent. Look up towards your hand. I know this is hard. Breathe with it. And exhale back, up. Straighten the front leg. Release your arms finally. And turn toes to face forward. Beautiful. Take a moment here. And now we're going to move into a forward fold. But what's important with the forward fold, I'll switch again, is that we stay with a long spine. Because age, cancer treatments, and hormones can create a bone density issue. We want to protect our spine and not come into a rounded presentation, but keep the spine nice and long. So I'm going to bend at the hip. So I'm pressing my hips back, bending here. I'm going to let my knees bend so that I can find that long spine. I have my blocks here that I can bring my hands to. So toes are pointing straight ahead. Knees are a little bit bent, as much as they need to be. Spine is long. Hold here for a breath and then see what it feels like to shift your weight deeply into one leg, bending that knee, and then the other. Finding a nice lengthening and stretch in the inner thighs. Some of us will be able to come down quite low and others will stay right here. Once more to each side, and then come back to center. Let your knees be bent, hands to knees, and carefully walk back up. Beautiful. We're going to move on to the other side with our warrior posture. So turning your other toes out. For me, it's my right. I don't know from where I started if you're on right or left. So be responsible for your own side in this one and do the other side. Let's inhale into warrior two. So my knee is over my ankle and tracking over my toes. My other foot is tilted. It's at an angle towards the upper corner of my mat. My arms are up and reaching through the fingertips. I'm looking out over my fingertips. Where can you let go and find your seat in this pose? Where are you feeling the strength? Inhale, straighten the leg, arms up, look ahead. Exhale and sink back into warrior two. Inhale up, strong, tall. Exhale down, ready for action, lots of strength. One more time. Exhale into warrior two. Turn your front palm over, lower the back hand, again to the hip, thigh, or behind your low back, and raise the front arm. Peaceful warrior. Notice my knee is still bent. I haven't straightened it. Long reach, looking up towards my fingertips. One more breath. Inhale back through warrior two. Release the arms down and turn toes to face forward. So toes pointing straight ahead. And then we will carefully walk feet in just a little bit and find your blocks or your whatever you're using for support. And we'll use this to come down into a lunge. So I'm going to take my forward fold, knees are bending, hips are back, long spine, hands to my blocks, and I'm going to step my left foot back behind. So I'm in that high lunge position that we've worked with quite a bit. Let's lower the back knee down. Make sure that you have support under your knee. So if you have that blanket handy, grab it and place it under your knee. Maybe you can walk the front foot a little further forward. And then press heels back. Maybe if you have blocks, you walk them back and find baby Hanuman, the half split. So I've got my front foot flexed. I think you can just see my toes. My leg is basically straight. It has a little bit of a bend. And I'm reaching my right hip back behind me. Stay here. Keep the knee as bent as it needs to be to take pressure off the back of the leg. But if you'd like, you can also walk out long and come over the extended leg for an added stretch. Inhale and come forward into the high lunge. Curl back toes under and step the back foot forward to meet the front. Let's inhale up and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale up and exhale forward. Find your forward fold, knees are bent, long spine. Stepping back with the right leg into the lunge. Take a moment here and then slowly lower back knee down. Maybe you walk your front foot a little further forward and flex through the foot so that your toes are coming back towards your knee. Let this knee have a bend in it if you're feeling a lot of sensation behind the leg. Maybe this is your pose, or maybe you walk forward, lengthen the spine, and come out over the extended leg. Work with your stretch today. Next, inhale, bend the front knee, finding the low lunge. Draw your knee back in. And we're going to come down onto our bellies. So if you need additional support underneath your abdomen to make space, then grab your folded blanket or towel or your small pillow to place underneath your abdomen. You'll come down onto your belly. We'll start with crocodile, so stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. I'm going to stay up so that you can hear me. So lying on your belly, breathing in to the feedback you're getting from the floor or whatever's underneath your abdomen. You can stay here in crocodile pose, or bring your hands down at your sides, palms down. You can rest your chin, mouth, or forehead on the floor. Press down through your front hip points really firmly, making good, strong contact. And then begin to reach back with your right leg as if you could touch something behind you. Reach so long that maybe the leg floats off the mat. Exhale and release. Lower that leg. Re-engage through your pelvis, your hip points pressing down into the ground. And then begin to reach through the other leg, toes reaching so long that maybe the foot floats up. And exhale, release down. You can feel free to do one at a time again, or press both hips firmly into the mat and then reach through both legs, and maybe both legs will float off the mat. Stay here or reach back through your fingertips and lift your chest and head, coming into locust pose, Shalabhasana. Big breath here, and exhale, let everything go. Maybe hands underneath your forehead for comfort. Shake your hips a little bit from side to side, letting go. And then again, reconnecting through your hips, bring your hands to either side of your chest And pressing into your hands, think of drawing your shoulder blades towards each other and just a slight lift up with head and chest. Exhale and release back down. And this time press into the hands and press all the way back into your child's pose. Knees can be together or wide apart. Resting in child's pose for a few breaths. And when you're ready, roll to one side and come down onto your back. We will meet there. Lying on your back, maybe drawing both knees in, hugging them in, and rocking a little bit side to side. Take your time making this transition. If happy baby is in your practice, you can bring your hands inside your knees and hold on to the outside of your foot. And so I'm sitting up, but if you were lying down, you would draw your knees back towards your shoulders. Yes, and release in the inner thighs. Press the tailbone down to open the low back. Take whatever opening, rocking pose you'd like for another couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, lower both feet to the mat, knees bent, and just allow your knees to drop from side to side. Maybe walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Allowing knees to drop from side to side. We're going to come into a lying down twist. There are a couple of different options. You can stay with feet down, knees dropping to one side, or you can draw the knees up as you hug them in. Bring your arms out to a T or a cactus, and then slowly lower your knees to one side, turning your head to look away. This may be too much twist for some of us, and you might want to go back to the earlier version, feet down, knees dropping to one side. Finding your twist, if there's another twist that you like, feel free to go into that one. Try to allow the opposite shoulder to drop down and be heavy. So if knees are to the left, right shoulder is heavy, and vice versa. Maybe your head turns away from your knees. And sometimes people like to turn their head towards their knees. It's a different stretch. So see what feels good. And take several breaths. Breathing into the point of conflict in the twist. It's a funny way of saying it, but there may be a place that's hard to breathe through, and that's the place to soften. No pain, though. If there's pain, please come out. Take your time in this twist, and when you're ready, you'll come through center and twist to the other side. Please take your time and work through the twist that serves you today. Stay with the breath. Take your time working with this twist. And when you're ready, come back through center and draw your knees in. Maybe rocking side to side once again. carefully roll yourself up to a seated position. I'm going to work with a particular type of meditation. It's called metta meditation, M-E-T-T-A. And in this meditation, I'll go through, we've done this before, but this is a slightly different version. Well, I'll go through reciting a series of phrases. First, we'll say I, so it'll be in relation to ourselves. And then we'll bring to mind someone or someones who really could use this message of peace. And so we'll say I and you. And then we'll go through the phrases with we, sending it out to heal the entire world, or as much as we can reach. So take a moment to find your seat. We'll sit for a few minutes, so please be comfortable. And I'm going to pull up my meditation. You can repeat the phrase as I say it, or just after me, or you can just hear it, the echo in your mind's eye, or ear, I suppose. Take a moment to find your connection to breath. Feel a sense of grounding through the lower body. The inhale takes you rising up, awake and aware, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Strength, energy in the inner body. Where can you let go as you sit? Let go through the face and jaw, neck and shoulders. Open heart, soft belly. Heavy legs, open hands and feet. Focus on the breath. May I know peace. May my heart remain open. May I awaken to the light of my true nature. May I find healing. May I be a source of healing for others. May I know peace. Now begin to bring to mind whomever you'd like to send this message to. See them in your mind's eye, in your heart, and hold them. May you know peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your true nature. May you find healing. May you be a source of healing for others. May you know peace. And now we extend our awareness, our open-heartedness, as far and as wide as we can see. and feel. And including Mother Earth herself. May we know peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our true nature. May we find healing. May we be a source of healing for others. May we know peace. Stay with your breath, holding the echo of this practice in your heart, in your body. You may stay in seated meditation if you like, or slowly make your way down to find your comfortable position for Shavasana, our resting pose. We'll come into about 9 minutes of silence. Something in me is being pulled out at the roots, thrashed on the ground, the tender parts bared, beaten, left to dry and blow away like so much chaff. Something is dying. The clear sky of mind is obscured by cloud and illusion. The moon neither rises nor sets now, and the debts of a lifetime demand payment. This is when faith is tested. The choice to discredit what I know and crawl into a hole of my own making will leave me bereft of any consolation. To be present in pain is the only path worth taking. To acknowledge light is not denying darkness, but oh, how hard it is to recall there is a choice, a chance to ask for strength and grace. And in the asking, there is the subtlest of shifts, an opening nearly imperceptible, an opening to receive. There is one ray of light, then more. I open the door, take one breath, and begin another day. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, roll to one side and pause. And then pressing in to your hands, make your way back up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for just another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with 3 chants of Om, one for peace and one for justice, and one for the community we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Hope everyone can have a peaceful day.